When you're shopping for a home in a seller's market, a hot seller's market like we have today, with a serious decrease, a serious shortage of inventory, and every great home that hits the market ends up disappearing quickly, I find that buyers make the same common mistakes on a regular basis. In this video, I'm going to show you the 7 common mistakes that buyers make. And while I do that, I'm going to show you how to avoid these. So when you're out shopping for your next dream home, you can actually find that perfect home for you and your family. Let's get started. Welcome to this week's video. My name is Joshua Norber, your local Metro Detroit Realtor. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in an income property in Metro Detroit, or you'd like some advice or have a question, please reach out to me. I'm going to put my contact information below. If you're anywhere in the state of Michigan, I'll definitely help you out. If you need more help than that and you're from outside of Michigan, don't worry. I've got you covered. Today, I'm going over the video, 7 common mistakes that buyers make when shopping for a home in a seller's market. Number 7, searching for homes in all the wrong places. I know you love Zillow, and I know you love Realtor.com. Those websites are very good at what they do. They provide the homes that are for sale in an easy-to-use format and make the browsing experience comfortable and easy to use. Now, what really happens is that when a home is contracted by a realtor with a seller to put it up for market, it hits the real estate market. By the time it gets to these websites, it's usually a day or two, sometimes even up to 3 days delay. In other words, what happens to you is that you're getting beaten out because you're not being notified in real time of the homes when they hit the market. How do you avoid this? Well, it's simple. You start working with a great real estate agent like myself or some of my colleagues, and we'll put you in direct access with the multiple listing service. If you'd like to know a little bit more about how that works and how to beat out the competition, check out last week's video. I'll put a link in the description so you can find out how exactly to beat out all the competitors. But if you want to be able to find that home in a hot seller's market, you need to be prepared. And in order to do that, you have to start off on the right foot. Number 6, shopping for homes before you are fully approved. Why is this a problem? Well, a lot of times we like to go out and search by price, but that's a mistake. And a lot of people do not understand why that's a mistake. And let me explain that there are 2 factors more important than price. One, the monthly payment, how much it's going to cost you per month to pay on the loan. And number 2, how much money do you need cash due at closing to close the deal? And those factors, they're very important. So what typically happens is that people will hop on their website app, they'll search, they'll use their, come up with a number. I can afford $200,000, let's say. I can afford $350,000. But what we really don't grasp is how much does that loan cost? Today, we have really great news. The mortgage rates, as you know, are extremely low, historically low. Now you can check out my video on the market report for Metro Detroit from June, which is the end of June, beginning of July. Here we are in the middle of August, getting ready for the next report, and rates have gone even lower. They're under 3%. Unbelievable. Well, what does that mean? Well, on the one hand, that means that while you might be looking at a $250,000 house, maybe all of a sudden you can afford one for $275,000 at the same payment. The converse is also true. So in any market, you really need to be fully approved and make sure you know your financial information before you step foot into a home, because it allows you to make that best offer. And many times I've been with buyers where we get to a house and they want to put an offer and they find out, well, there's something about the house, the taxes aren't right, it costs too much to move in there, and they can't afford it. Maybe this particular house, the monthly payment is too high or they're not comfortable with. So it doesn't just mean that we get a better deal on our money. It could also mean that we can't afford things, and you don't want to step into that house without knowing what you're buying for first. Also, the same is true when it comes to how much money does it take to close the deal. How much money do you need into the property in order to close it? Maybe it's too much money. Maybe you're not comfortable spending that much cash and putting it into your house. That's why it's important, and I recommend you get with a mortgage professional at the beginning of your journey in order to step into the right house and make the proper offer, an attractive offer, so you don't waste your time. Number 5, negotiating at the wrong time. Now, every piece of real estate goes through 3 negotiations. One, the negotiation phase, is the offer time. The second phase is at the home inspection. And the third one, you guessed it, is the home appraisal. Now, too many buyers are getting caught up with negotiating too much up front with their first offer at the offer stage. Now, normally, that's not an issue. But remember, we're in a highly competitive market, and buyers are getting beaten out every day by other buyers because their offers aren't attractive. Now, let me explain. When you find a home in the seller's market, the first thing you want to do, your goal, your objective, should be to lock it up. In other words, get it under contract, come to an agreement very quickly that works for the seller and for you, and get it taken off the market. Because what you want to avoid is that seller entertaining offers with other buyers, because someone's going to come around and offer more. Ask your real estate agent. Any of us can do it. If you're working with a great real estate, such as myself or my colleagues here, then we're going to put together a quick summary of the neighborhoods you're looking at, and so you can see how much more homes are going for in that area. And that's really crazy, but that's what's happening now. It's a frenzy out there. So you want to make your number one goal at the offer stage to make it as presentable and easy for them to accept. And once you do that and you lock it up and you get down the road to the home inspection, that's where a great real estate agent's going to get to work. I'm going to put my negotiation hat on and you're going to put yours on. And we're going to negotiate when we're doing those inspections and we're taking a look at everything. We want to make sure everything's right. We're going to use that time to negotiate. And the reason for that is that we no longer have 10 other buyers that the seller's entertaining. They won't want to negotiate hard up front because they could just have someone to say yes to, and you know that. So again, we're going to take those three phases and we're going to really pay attention to when we are negotiating. Number 4, not using a second showing. I always recommend to my clients, let's wait 24 hours and go back into the property. That way we can let all of the emotions fizzle out a little bit and we can put our logical face back on. And that's important because we want to be able to look at things logically sometimes. And we get caught up today in this kind of market with just getting the contracts, locking them up, and not looking back. And unfortunately, for most people, when you spend several $100,000s on an asset, I think it's in your best interest to make a second showing just to be sure it's the right one. Maybe you need to look at it a second time for yourself. Maybe your spouse needs to look at it for the first or second time. Maybe you just need a second just to go over it and make sure that it has all the features and you didn't miss anything in all the excitement of getting into the house. Also, we want to avoid getting you stuck into a legal situation where you have to back out of a contract later because you just weren't sure. If you have uncertainty, don't write the offer. It's not the end of the world. We can find another property to make your home for your family. Number 3, getting a home inspection. This is a common mistake I see buyers making. It's kind of a leftover remnant in the industry when we had all of those foreclosures from 2007 on. And we used to buy houses as investors, or our investor clients used to buy them sight unseen. And that might be okay for some people on a $20,000 purchase. But this is your home. This is a $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 purchase. Please, we go to the car dealership and we look at a $30,000 or $50,000 vehicle that's used, and we want to make sure that sticker shows everything about it, that it's been checked out, that the mechanics work, the oil works, everything about the car's right, the tires right. For $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 purchase, we make sure that. And we're talking about $500,000, maybe $500,000 asset that you're about to purchase. Please, I advise you, I strongly urge that you don't waive your inspection, because you don't want to buy a house and find out that you didn't do your due diligence allowed to you by the state of Michigan. I know that we want to make the offers as attractive as possible to a seller, but we also have to protect our own rear end. And it's really important that we don't get into a situation where we buy a house and we find out, oh my gosh, it has 1 year left on the roof and we have to spend $25,000. Or there's a problem with the septic field because we didn't look at it, or we waived that part of the inspection, we did the rest. We don't want a $20,000 expense, and we don't want all of that hassle. We want to make sure our ducks are in a row and we know what we're buying. It's only the smart thing to do. Number 2, not looking at off-the-market properties. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're working with a top-notch professional real estate agent, they typically will have motivated sellers in the neighborhoods you're looking for, and if they don't, they usually know how to find them. Better yet, they actually do get off their butt and they find those motivated sellers for you. Yes, you guessed it. A great real estate agent knows how to find off-the-market properties that are not yet available, and they help you get into them. All right, imagine this. We're in a highly competitive market for buyers. Houses that hit the market fly off with multiple offers within a few days. Now, what if we could find you the perfect house, and you found the perfect neighborhood that no other buyers were looking at, and you had no competition? Would that make it easier for you to make an offer and get it accepted and get into your dream home? That's right, it certainly would. That's why it's important for you to work with top-notch real estate agents, great real estate agents who know how to proactively find motivated sellers in the areas you're looking for. That's my tip number 2. Okay, the number one common mistake that buyers make when shopping for homes in a competitive seller's market: hiring the wrong real estate agent. Now, time and time again, I see it happening. Any doorknob can get a real estate license. In fact, the way the market's been running for the last 5 years, everybody's hopping into it because it looks like it's easy and it looks like it's something. The problem is, as an industry, the bar is too low. It's too easy to get in. And that's why a lot of people get in, maybe not for the wrong reasons, but maybe not for the right ones. So just because it's a good market, people are attracted to the business and getting their license, just because Aunt Peggy's doing it, Cousin Johnny's doing it, maybe you're like one of those people who feel like you're obligated to use a friend or family just because they got their license. Well, that's a very common mistake, because that's not using an experienced agent. An experienced agent is going to help you through the entire process and get you to a closing, working with both sides of the transaction and avoiding a lot of common pitfalls, and also possibly potentially saving you a lot of legal issues or monetary issues in the process. What I'm trying to point out is that not all real estate agents are created equal. So don't make the mistake of hiring the wrong agent when you're shopping for your home. It could potentially cost you thousands of dollars, put you in a legal situation, or even worse, make you not get that dream home for you and your family, and put you in a bind. With a real estate transaction, there are a lot of moving parts. It's really important for you when you're hiring your next agent, or you're looking for a new home and shopping for a new home, that you don't just hire anybody, Aunt Peggy or whoever it might be, that doesn't have the experience or the knowledge that helps navigate the home buying, the home contract, and the closing process. You need to get there from A to Z with as little hassle as possible. Therefore, it's really important. I highly recommend that you ask all the right questions. You rewatch this video and maybe think about these kind of things and ask the right questions when hiring your next great real estate agent. Thanks for watching. Again, Joshua Norber, your local Metro Detroit Realtor. My contact information is below. And don't forget to check out, whichever way these are, check out the next few videos that we have for you.